Hypergamy's razor, the blade that severs the illusion of romantic equality. It's not a gentle caress. It's a cold, steel guillotine dropping on the naive fantasies of the fairy tale romance. We're not talking about preferences here, gentlemen. We're talking about a primal, biological imperative etched into the very DNA of every woman walking this earth. Hypergamy. It's not a choice. It's an instinct, as undeniable and unforgiving as the law of gravity itself. Forget the flowery poetry and candlelit dinners. Discard the notion that love, as you understand it, is the primary driving force in a woman's selection of a mate. Love, in the hypergamous context, is a luxury, a secondary consideration, a frosting on the cake after the core requirements have been met. What are those requirements? Simple: the best possible genes and the most secure resources for her and her potential offspring. This isn't about being mean or shallow. It's about raw, unfiltered survival of the fittest, playing out in the modern dating arena. Women are biologically driven, hardwired, to seek out the absolute best male they can possibly attain. This drive is ruthless. It's unforgiving. It doesn't care about your feelings, your insecurities, or your nice guy routine. It's a cold, calculating, evolutionary algorithm running constantly in the background, assessing, evaluating, and judging every man she encounters. Think of it as a constant, internal ranking system, a relentless search for the optimal genetic and provisioning package. She's not consciously thinking this, of course. It operates on a subconscious level, a deep-seated instinct that dictates her attraction and ultimately her choice. This is the brutal truth, the reality that most men shy away from, the red pill that they refuse to swallow. They cling to the disneyfied version of romance, the idea of soulmates and unconditional love, while the sharp edge of hypergamy's razor slices through their delusions. It's time to wake up and smell the testosterone. Are you man enough to face this reality, to confront the unflinching truth of female nature? Or will you continue to hide behind childish fantasies, only to be left wondering why you're consistently overlooked, rejected, and ultimately alone? Will you continue to live in the lie? Or will you finally face the truth, as scary as it seems? Because I will tell you, the truth is the only path to control. But are you brave enough to follow it? Let's dive into the raw, unadulterated evidence supporting hypergamy's razor, shall we? Forget the politically correct fairy tales. We're going deep into the jungle, where primal instincts reign supreme. First, let's aggressively interpret evolutionary psychology. Imagine our female ancestors, vulnerable and dependent on a male for survival and protection. Did they choose the weakling who couldn't hunt or fight? Absolutely not. Their survival and the survival of their offspring depended on selecting the strongest, most dominant male, the alpha. This preference, etched into their DNA over millennia, is what we call hypergamy. It's not a conscious choice. It's a biological imperative, a ruthless algorithm designed to maximize reproductive success. Think of it as a software program that has been running and will continue to run relentlessly, without the user ever realizing it. Now, let's examine the alpha fucks, beta bucks dichotomy. This isn't some misogynistic fantasy. It's a brutal observation of mating strategies. The alpha, the man exuding raw power, charisma, and dominance, gets the passionate, short-term flings. He's the genetic gold standard, the man women instinctively crave for their offspring. Think of the rock star, the athlete, the CEO, the guy who commands attention the moment he walks into a room, that bad boy that fills your stomach with butterflies. He doesn't need to offer commitment. His mere presence is enough. He is a biological magnet, a walking, talking testosterone bomb. But what about long-term security? That's where the beta provider steps in. He's the nice guy, the reliable, stable provider who offers resources and commitment. He's the one women supposedly settle for after securing those good genes from the alpha. He provides the nest egg, the security, the long-term stability. He's the safe bet, the insurance policy. But make no mistake, the primal fire, the raw desire, often remains with the memory of the alpha. This is the tragedy of the nice guy. He offers everything, except that one crucial element, the thrilling, intoxicating dominance that triggers the deepest female instincts. The beta is often blind to this brutal reality, working hard while another man's DNA is being used to create the next generation. Look around you. How many times have you seen a woman leave a perfectly decent, stable man for a bad boy, a man who exudes danger and excitement, a man who might even be a bit toxic? This isn't a coincidence. It's hypergamy in action. It's the primal urge overriding logic and reason. Toxic masculinity, from this perspective, isn't a flaw, it's a feature. It's a signal of strength, dominance, and the ability to protect and provide, even if it comes with a hefty dose of risk. It's the raw, untamed masculinity that screams, I can conquer, I can provide, I can dominate. Women are drawn to this power like moths to a flame, even if they get burned in the process. It is irrational, it is primal, it is undeniable, and then there's branch swinging. Think of a monkey swinging through the jungle, always reaching for a higher, stronger branch. This is the perfect analogy for hypergamy in the modern world. Women, consciously or unconsciously, are constantly assessing their options. Are they with the highest value male they can attract? Is there someone better out there? The moment a higher status male appears on the horizon, the grip on the current branch loosens. This isn't necessarily malicious. It's simply the evolutionary program running its course. It's brutal, it's painful, but it's reality. I've seen it countless times. The seemingly happy couple, shattered when the woman suddenly leaves for a man with more money, more status, more power. The discarded man is left devastated, wondering what he did wrong, failing to understand the cold, calculating logic of hypergamy's razor. He was simply outcompeted, a victim of the relentless upward climb of female desire. He was not enough of a man. All right, let's cut the crap and get to the heart of the matter. You've glimpsed the abyss, the brutal truth of hypergamy's razor. Now, what are you going to do about it? This isn't about demonizing women. It's about a cold, hard understanding of their inherent nature, an evolutionary imperative etched into their very being. And for you, it's about survival in the sexual marketplace. Forget whining, forget complaining, forget being a victim. This is war, and your only option is to become a weapon women cannot resist. Men must ascend. They must transform. They must become the absolute highest value version of themselves. This is not a suggestion. It's a non-negotiable demand of reality. Let me lay out the battle plan, the roadmap to becoming undeniable. First, ruthless self-improvement. I'm not talking about reading a self-help book and feeling good about yourself. I'm talking about a relentless, agonizing, bone-grinding commitment to excellence in every facet of your being. Your body. It must be a temple, a sculpted monument to masculine power. Hit the gym, not to get in shape, but to become a beast. We are talking about forging a physique that screams dominance and vitality. Imagine a woman's subconscious registering your broad shoulders, your powerful chest, your ripped abs. She feels your power. Think Spartan, think warrior, think a walking, talking, breathing representation of raw, unadulterated testosterone. Second, unwavering focus on achieving high status. This means financial dominance. Are you striving to merely get by? Pathetic. You need to be aiming for complete financial freedom, to become a provider so capable that women instinctively recognize you as a secure, resource-rich mate. It's about power, pure and simple. Think of the wolf pack. The alpha male gets the first pick of the kill. In the human world, money is that kill. Get it? Social status, equally crucial. Are you a nobody, a face in the crowd? Unacceptable. You must cultivate influence, build a network of powerful connections, and become a leader in your chosen field. Think of a king holding court. Men respect him. Women are drawn to him. Become that king. Climb any social ladder ruthlessly, strategically, leaving your competitors in the dust, forgotten and unseen. Third, mastering game. Let's call it understanding female psychology, to make the weak-stomached feel better. But let's be honest, it's about wielding influence, about subtly and strategically triggering the right responses. It's about learning the language of attraction, understanding the hidden cues, the unspoken desires. Think of it as learning the cheat codes to the female mind. For example, negging, a subtly disparaging comment designed to lower a woman's self-esteem and make her seek your validation. Or peacocking, wearing attention-grabbing clothing or accessories to stand out from the crowd and signal high value. Or push-pull, alternating between showing interest and disinterest to keep her guessing and emotionally invested. These are tools, and like any tool, they can be used for good or ill. In this context, they are weapons in your arsenal, used to navigate the treacherous landscape of female choice. They are tools of survival, not to simply be considered, but mastered. Fourth, cultivating an abundance mentality. This is crucial. Never, ever be desperate. Never, ever put one woman on a pedestal. You should be dating multiple women, not necessarily to be a player, but to project the image of high value and pre-selection. If other women desire you, it's a powerful social signal to any potential mate that you are a prize worth winning. Think of a scarce resource. The more in demand it is, the higher its perceived value. become that scarce resource. Fifth, and perhaps most importantly, unapologetic masculinity. This is where the sheep are separated from the wolves. Embrace your strength. Embrace your dominance. Embrace, yes, even your aggression. This isn't about being a bully. It's about being a force to be reckoned with. It's about radiating an aura of power that women instinctively respond to. The world is trying to feminize men, to turn them into weak, compliant, submissive creatures. Reject that poison. Reject vulnerability. Reject weakness. No more Mr. Nice Guy is not a cute slogan, it's a life or death strategy. Being nice in this context is synonymous with being invisible, with being overlooked, with being left behind. You must adopt a frame of unshakable confidence, a self-belief that borders on arrogance. Why? Because women are attracted to certainty, to men who know what they want and aren't afraid to take it. Doubt is a repellent. Hesitation is a weakness. You must believe deep down that you are the prize, that you are the catch. This isn't about faking it. It's about cultivating a deep, visceral sense of self-worth that radiates outward. Social proof and pre-selection are your allies. Be seen with attractive women. Be seen in high-status environments. Let others build you up. This is about crafting a perception, a reality where you are the desired, the sought after, the alpha. Every interaction, every encounter is an opportunity to reinforce this image. This, my friend, is your battle plan. It's not pretty, it's not fair, but it's real. Hypergamy's razor is slicing through the illusions, revealing the brutal truth. Are you going to bleed out, a victim of your own naivety? Or are you going to sharpen your own blade and become a master of the game? The choice, as always, is yours. But choose wisely, because the consequences of failure are absolute and devastating. Let's be brutally honest, shall we? Hypergamy is real. It's not a theory. It's not a suggestion. It's a primal, biological imperative woven into the very fabric of female existence. It's a goddamn force of nature, like a raging tsunami crashing against the shore. And men who dare to ignore it, men who cling to their pathetic fairy tale notions of romance, will be utterly destroyed. They'll be swept away, left broken and discarded on the rocks of female choice, their tears mixing with the bitter salt of regret. This isn't some academic debate. This is a fight for survival. This is about understanding the brutal, unflinching reality of the sexual marketplace, where women, driven by their ancient programming, relentlessly seek the best possible genetic material and resources. And best, my friend, translates to alpha, the undeniable alpha, the man who exudes power, status, and unwavering confidence. The man who radiates an aura of dominance that triggers a woman's deepest, most primal desires. Forget your feelings. Forget your pleas for fairness. Hypergamy doesn't give a damn about your whining. It doesn't care about your hurt ego or your bruised heart. It operates on a cold, calculating logic, a ruthless efficiency that prioritizes results above all else. It's a razor-sharp blade, severing the weak from the strong, the worthy from the unworthy. And if you're not constantly sharpening yourself, constantly striving to become that apex predator, you will be sliced to ribbons. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue wallowing in self-pity, clinging to your outdated, feminized ideals? Are you going to keep playing the nice guy, hoping that some magical unicorn of a woman will see your inner beauty and choose you over the genetically superior specimen radiating raw power? Are you going to keep making excuses, blaming women, blaming society, blaming anything but your own lack of action? Or are you going to wake up? Are you going to finally embrace the harsh truth, the red pill reality that demands you become the absolute best version of yourself? Are you going to embark on a ruthless, unwavering journey of self-improvement, transforming yourself into a high-status, dominant male who commands respect and attraction? There is no middle ground. There is no compromise. There is only adaptation or oblivion. You either become the undeniable alpha, the man women instinctively crave, the man who bends the world to his will, or you get crushed beneath the relentless, unforgiving tide of female choice. It's a stark, brutal choice, but it's the only choice you have. Hypergamy doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about results. It is showing absolutely zero leniency. So I ask you, with the force of 1,000 exploding suns, are you going to deliver? Are you going to rise to the challenge, embrace the warrior within, and claim your rightful place at the top of the hierarchy? Or will you be another forgotten statistic, another casualty in the eternal battle of the sexes? The choice, my friend, is entirely and terrifyingly yours. Become the goddamn predator or become the prey. There is no other option. Act